Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about FedNow versus UNICOIN. We're going to give you the facts and then we're going to discuss it, talk about it a little bit. But first, thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you like this kind of up-to-date content. We try to keep it coming.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, by the way, and all your kind comments. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about right now. Let's start with the FedNow. So the FedNow has obviously come out, and you guys go to their website. It states it clearly. If the Federal Reserve has announced a July launch for the FedNow service. So we've all been kind of saying, what is the FedNow service going to be? Well, it is going to be a kind of a payment instrument. We thought it was going to be rolled out more as a CBDC, or we didn't really know what exactly, but they have come out and clearly stated it is going to be a payment instrument like PayPal, Venmo, different things like that. But you're going to have to be hooked to a bank.
There's an intermediary, and it's going to be your bank, and the bank's going to set you up your FedNow account. And you'll be able to pay bills immediately. You'll be able to get your pension or whatever immediately. You know, there's a lot of promises involved with FedNow. But just keep in mind, the people that are involved with rolling this out do not have your best interest in mind. Now, I don't know if we can opt out of this. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, I want to kind of get into what it is and how it's going to work. But just know what we're using now is outdated.
As of now, as this came out 2 days ago, they said you still had an option to opt out. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not. It says the FedNow is the Federal Reserve's new instant payment service that will enable customers at participating banks and credit unions to send and receive money within seconds, 24/7 and every day. If you guys notice, if you ever do ACH, if you do wire transfers, if you do stuff like that, then it seems to take a little bit of time. And so you're always kind of like a delay of
like 3 days.
Well, sometimes with wire transfer. Yeah.
Wire transfer. It's easier to fly there and give them the money.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, but they're saying so. But here's my interesting thought on this, and help me out with this. Why would the Federal Reserve, because this is the Federal Reserve, why would they get involved into a payment system? What would be, because we already have so many. We have PayPal, we have Venmo, we have Cash App, we have all these different apps that immediately do payments. Why would the Federal Reserve all of a sudden decide?
There's only one reason. That's control. They want to control everything.
And you know what they say,
there's nothing in here that's going to be good for us.
This is what they say. This is from Jerome Powell. It says what the Fed now will do is enable all the banks, any banks in the United States, not just the big ones, but the little ones, to offer instant available funds and real-time payments to their customers. It's going to launch in July 2023.
This summer.
Couple weeks away.
The months.
Couple weeks away. And the thing is, most businesses will not be able to participate unless they go to that financial institute and they set up a FedNow account. But so that they're saying that, yeah, you can get from what I understand, Social Security checks instantly deposited, but there's a backside of that.
You can pay your bills right now. There's some stuff in here. If you read it, I'll put in the comments about how if you're, living from paycheck to paycheck, you can pay your bill in seconds.
Yes.
You can receive payments in seconds.
Right.
But what they leave out is we can garnish your wages in seconds. We can turn you off or on in seconds. We can look at your social credit score and carbon footprint and decide whether we're going to let you have what's rightfully yours or not. You know, there's a lot of, this is, in my opinion, a foot in the door method. They crack the door, they jam their foot in it, and then they say, hey, you don't have to participate if you don't want to. Nothing's really changed.
Well, look at this. Remember when we had the stimulus checks coming down the pipe and everybody was struggling to get it to their account? So this is going to just be another way that you can say, hey, here's your stimulus check. Boom, immediately. Right to your FedNow account.
It puts me in mind of direct deposit. You know, I've had helpers, Mexican helpers, that don't trust banks.
Right.
You know, people from other countries aren't really crazy about banks.
They don't.
And he was uncomfortable with having a direct deposit. He wanted his physical check.
Yep.
Well, there's a penalty you have to pay if you want the physical check. That is, you have to wait another 2 or 3 days, to get the physical check in the mail and then go to your account. So there's a honeypot right there. You'll be able to get what you're owed immediately. like it says on the website, within seconds. You won't have to wait. Now, I can only imagine the things that are the honeypots they're going to lay out.
Well, this is
like,
one of them.
If you want a stimulus, do you remember when the stimulus is rolled out, and it was like there was only so much. They only had an allotted amount.
Yes.
And whoever got there first got it.
Yes.
Well, the people that's enrolled in this are going to get it first.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it sure was. If you applied, and if you got there first, well, they clearly state, and you guys can go to their website. I'm looking on their website. It says payment between banks typically require clearing and settlement. That means clearing means that the banks exchange information. It takes days sometimes. This will be immediate. It is going to speak from bank to bank. You're going to be set up. And also, if you go apparently to different bank businesses, that they can set the same thing out. So, and here's the argument. So I just had someone say, so why? What's the big deal? We already use credit cards. We're already being in the system to some degree. We're already being tracked to some degree. We're using those 4 digits to track. So what's the big deal?
Well, you can opt out of a credit card. You don't have to use a credit card. You're going to have to use
the FedNow.
The FedNow. It's not the same. Not at all. There's nothing about, we're already using that. We've already got digital currency. Chris, I've already heard this. We've already got this. We've got credit cards and we've got debit cards and all. Completely different. Stop thinking like that. It is not the same. Period. Full stop. It is a total control. Look, they shut Russia off from the SWIFT system with an old, outdated 1970-something system. They cut Russia out like that. They turned the Freedom truck drivers off, the Freedom Convoy truck drivers in Canada. They cut them off from their bank accounts on the old system. Can you imagine what they're going to do with the new system?
And just so you know, this FedNow is with the Federal Reserve. So this isn't a private bank that they're talking about. This is the Federal Reserve that's going to be in complete control of this FedNow system. So everything you process, everything you purchase, everything you do is going to be tracked by the Federal Reserve, including counting those 87,000 new IRS agents that they just hired.
That are packing. These guys are packing guns and weapons. This is the truth.
That's true. And they said that this was another way for the FedNow that they would be able to track people to see what they purchased and that you would not be able to evade taxes.
Who you give to.
Yeah.
Then just think about it. They're going to know everything you do.
Yep.
And a lot of people, even now, a lot of people say, well, I don't really do anything bad. I don't really have anything to hide. Okay. When you give your great aunt some money for groceries, when you give your kid lunch money for school, when you do whatever you do with cash, that's gone. That'll be taxed. That you don't no longer have that ability to do any of that because it is complete authority. When you separate somebody from their money, you have complete control. You have to go through this FedNow poppycock to access your funds. It's bad enough now we're unsecured depositors at a bank and they don't even have it, So now this is the next step into crashing the currency.
Well, supposedly they have rolled out, I think there's 120 banks that have been in this pilot program. And right now they're getting ready to sign up as many banks that want to participate. From what I understand, almost all the banks are wanting to participate. Financial institutes. Also, if you're a local business, they say that you can also participate if you get a financial institute to work with you. So they're rolling this out, you guys. So it'll be really interesting to see. There are some limits. There's some cap limits. But beyond that, everything just looks really good on this website that they're saying. They're like, man, if a bill is due, you can receive immediate confirmation that a payment is accepted. You have no risk of overdrawing your bank account, no bank overdraft fees. I mean, it is just one good thing after another, except for the fact it is the Federal Reserve and they will be tracking you. So that is the FedNow program that is being rolled out in July.
So, and I do want to highlight, this is something you'll have to set up with whatever bank you have that,
it does.
This isn't,
you're not automatically.
I was kind of thinking it was going to be between us and the central bank cutting the banks out. But it turns out the first baby step is you go to your bank and your bank sets up this FedNow thing. And then you're set up to get your everything payments fast and, get you in the system.
What it did not make clear is if they automatically set you up or you had to go in and set it up. So I could not find it anywhere in the system or anywhere in the paperwork where it stated if you had to go set it up or if you were automatically set up.
And we're just giving you the facts.
Yep.
You check these stores out. They'll be in the description. Everything we talk about is factual. So, it's here. I'm not just a talking head saying random stuff. This is just the news. If you don't like it, sorry. I don't either. I don't really like it either.
But that's the FedNow program.
That's the FedNow, not to be confused with UNICOIN.
Yep.
Or unicorn.
Yes, I kept calling
It's confusing. Well, the unicorn
it's the network
is the network, and they create the unicorn. But keep in mind, they're saying uni, which is one, and it ties back to the one world government that has been rolling out for the last 20 or 30 years. We learned about it in school. Went to a Christian school. They told us all about it. They said, hey, this is one world government. This is in the end times. There will be this one world government. We'll have a global currency, and it is absolutely happening right now in real time before our eyes. So this is the unicorn. I want to show it to you real quick, as a matter of fact. Give me just a second. All right. That's it. Digital currency, monetary authority, UNICOIN. Now, I don't know what that U means with a couple of dots on top of it, but normally it's something to mock God. Usually that's the way it works. Some kind of little something.
I tried to get online and do some research on that, and I could not find anything that had a symbol meaning. But that is the symbol that they've chosen. And so we got asked the other day in one of the live stream chats about digital currencies. Are there different digital currencies? So I think that's where we need to kind of like make it where we're learning that these are different. What we're talking about now, the FedNow, that is United States only. That is only going to be for domestic transactions. That is not going to be for international transactions. And somebody said, are there different currencies? Are there different programs like this across the the world? Yes, there are. The Bahamas was one of the first. It was the sand dollar.
I actually remember when that rolled out.
Nigeria was next, China. Then you got the Britain right now that's doing it. You've got the European bank that's doing it. So yes, within other countries, they are having their own forms of different, I guess you would say, digital currency, CBDCs and stuff like that. Yes, they are. But the UNICOIN is a completely different ballgame. This is with the IMF, and this is going to be across, well, it's global. And this is where it gets interesting. It's
a global currency. It's here.
Yes. And they talk about how there's a wallet that will literally transfer one currency from another currency in a matter of seconds. But here it goes. It's the Digital Currency Monetary Authority has announced that they will have launched a new global central bank digital currency, and they call it the CBDC. And it goes on to talk about it. And this is where I get it confused with the UNICOIN, because it actually is. It's a group that is called the UNICOIN Network. And quote, this is a decentralized international banking network open to central banks, retail and commercial banks, fintech, which you guys know about, governments, and cryptocurrency exchanges. And they were talking about how that they are taking, it's a blockchain program, and they are taking, it's kind of in between CBDC and cryptocurrency, and they're going to create a ledger. And if you wish to be a part of this, you're going to have to be on that ledger. And we can go into a little bit further as we keep going on. But they said central banks can deploy, it's a monetary system adopting the UNICOIN Network Crypto 2.0. And that is where we're headed next with, they just introduced the white paper to the IMF a couple days ago. They're trying to vote on it. But somebody came out the other day and they said, even if they don't say yes to this one, they'll say yes to the next one. Even if they do a few changes, this is happening. Oh, yeah,
this is coming. This is in the mail. It might be a while getting here. We don't know. But this unicorn or UNICOIN, whatever, is the global currency that will have an exchange rate built into it.
Yes, it does. It's a wallet. Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able, it'll be the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. Now think about how
it'll take away wire transfers.
It seems like to me that these other countries that have been getting ripped off by the U.S. dollar could value the dollar at such and such exchange rate, right? Because we literally takes us $17 to make $100 bill to ship overseas to accept $100 worth of goods and services. You know, we've been ripping off the planet for a while now. We've been getting away with it, and everybody around has profited from it, including me and everybody I know. Having the world reserve currency is awesome. That's where you want to be. Turns out, got a little carried away, and we're about to lose it. And in real time, like it's happening right now. And this is just a more of the same, you know.
Well, it's just facts. So let me go a little further. So apparently, if you guys, I will link the white page, the article. I actually went through it. 40 countries have gone to the IMF and said, look, you guys, we need help. Right now, they're rolling it out in 100 different countries. And they say that, let's see. Sorry, I missed my place here. They said that they're symbolizing it as a character of you with the 2 dots, as Chris said on the other thing. And they said cross-border payments can be slow, expensive, and risky. In today's world of payments, counterparties in different jurisdictions rely on costly, trusted relationships. So they're going to step in, and they're going to be the person they say that it's going to be trusted that they can do that.
Yeah. Well, if it's backed up on the blockchain.
That's what they're saying.
So we're looking at a serious currency that's can't be ripped off. The blockchain can be ripped off, but you can also go back and find out where the transaction was, who did it, and find out what the deal was. So the blockchain's pretty cool once you figure that out. But
and one more thing,
this is a big.
It is
big,
the monetary.
big
that also this department, this monetary unit, they have said they're trying to establish a singular platform that will utilize just one single currency, and they're calling it the UNICOIN, which their unicorn network, because that's the unit that's powering all this, and it's going to be symbolized, as we said, the U with the 2 dots on it. This currency itself is powered by artificial intelligence with blockchain. So I don't know, you guys. I mean, this is I went digging down into this kind of stuff, and I came out and I told Chris, and he and I started digging and looking into it, and I think this UNICOIN is a much bigger thing than FedNow at this point. Because if you take this global, well, I don't know, both may be the same, but there's the difference. Everybody keeps asking, what's the difference?
Yeah.
But FedNow is locally. We're dealing with that locally. But if you look at the UNICOIN, that is a global thing. If they take that, if they adopt that, the IMF, and if they create that, and we'll have to accept it. Otherwise, we won't be able to exchange currencies.
Power is whoever has all the money. The golden rule, whoever has the gold makes the rules. And this is the global currency, the one world government, one, the singular, you see all these one singular currency things that, money rules the world. And this is
who controls the money
rolling out in our lifetime now. It's right now. The FedNow, the Uni now. It's like right now. It's crazy.
No, it is. You go. I will do a link. We did a link for the live stream yesterday, the white page. But go read it. I did. I read through it, and they're right now. They're working with 100 countries right now to start rolling it out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That's it. Yeah, this is just wild that it's happening right now, guys. Share this video with somebody that doesn't know what's coming. They don't get it. They're not, when you tell them, they're just like not wanting to hear it, and they probably won't watch it, but they might. You never know. Sometimes they take it better from somebody else. Can't be a prophet in your own town. But this is happening, and it's in our lifetime, and it seems like it's going to be in the next year or two.
It's
and
happening.
The FedNow is going to be in this summer, July.
Yeah. And I don't know. We're going to see how that affects the banks, because I was talking to Chris. I said, so if they start making you put your Social Security directly deposited into your FedNow, and then that becomes an issue. So, for example, if you own taxes, can they freeze your accounts then? I mean, there's so much speculation I could go down, I guess, and try to figure out how that, because once the Federal Reserve controls that FedNow account, then anyway, my brain just kind of starts.
Well, you got to think these people serve the ESG God. We're going to talk about in the next video a lot.
Oh, wait, I mentioned that. I forgot to. So also the UNICOIN, they're also going to base it on the UNICOIN, the transactions. They stated in verbatim. They said they are going to go. Oh, I forget the quote now. They said they're going to start doing internet search results and they are going to base it off of that, of where I guess they'll let you transfer stuff or whatever. I don't know, but they actually stated that they're going to be based off internet search results, your ESG and your social credit score for the UNICOIN.
Think about that
got a
for a
delay.
second. I know we got a delay, but I'm hoping it catches up. Listen to this. Your internet search results, your Facebook account, what you're giving to. Who are you giving to? Why are you giving to them? We invest in companies in different countries because I think the assets they have in the ground are going to do well in the future. Are they going to like that? I don't know. I mean, it brings a whole, it really brings everything we've been saying over the last couple of years. Right now, it brings it really close to happening. And it's just here. It's wild, and we're going to live through it.
Well, they put a post on their website, and you guys go look. They put a post on their website saying that they were going to start doing internet search results, and they were going to base it on whether if you got, I guess, allowed to do the UNICOIN or not. And there was a post. So I don't know.
Well, that's the news. That's the UNICOIN and the FedNow news. Check it out for yourself. Let us know what you think in the comments because I value your opinion. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Have an awesome, awesome day. I just smacked the mic. Later.